Hi everybody, my name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator and I'm on a mission to acquaint myself with 52 accents by April 17th, 2016. We go to accent number 24 in the series. California. That California. And I'll explain what that means. But first, what do you mean, that accent, Mr. Haynes? Well, what I mean is California is a huge state, huge range of ethnicities, cultures, and dialects, each of which could be considered genuinely Californian, authentically Californian. However, the accent that is recognizable as Californian, as opposed to just about anywhere else in the world, I reckon, is the accent that is typically thought of as the San Fernando Valley accent and has unfortunately popularly been characterized as meaning pothead or airhead. The mission for this particular exercise is to see how some of those qualities actually apply to a well-spoken and intelligent adult as opposed to a caricature. And so I'm going to be sharing with you 5 highlights from my search. The first is an index of some of those adults. If you YouTube Don Van Vliet, also known as Captain Beefheart, some interviews with him. He grew up in Glendale. Check out David Data, who is a spirituality, sexuality teacher of the New Age type of vein. He was raised in Ohio and educated in Florida and California, and then settled, I believe, in California. He's got that very, very distinct sound to him. James Marsters grew up in Modesto. Nicolas Cage grew up in Long Beach. Now, when you're listening to Nicolas Cage or YouTubing him, do not YouTube Valley Girl. YouTube the videos of his interviews. Now, the second highlight is the resonance. Welcome to the Mattoon. This is me and the resonance that I'm using when I'm trying to do this California accent. I usually wear glasses. So the resonance for me is very, very broad in the back of the mouth, but then a lot of it, especially the O's, go out the lower lip. So instead of going down to war in June, I'm going to do an exaggeration. It'll be going down to war in June. Then you dial it back, going down to war in June. And that's from a song that we're going to practice. All right, long vowels. We're going to exaggerate a bit. A becomes e, so chains will become chains. E becomes I, so instead of C, it becomes si. I goes into, instead of an I, it becomes more of an I, so I. O tends to go into an O, so instead of wrote, it becomes wrote, and then dial it back, wrote. The U sound, that's what I'm trying to represent through this capital U, tends to become EU, so instead of June, it becomes June. Now, the short vowels. A tends to become more of an ah, so instead of back, bach. E becomes a, so instead of arrested, it becomes arrested. I becomes e, so instead of Richmond, it becomes Richmond. Ah becomes ah, so, but it's a little deeper. That's what I'm trying to represent with this exaggerated dip right here. So instead of song, it becomes something close to song. And becomes ah, so instead of everyone, it becomes everyone. Again, a lot of these you can find in the cliched, caricatured Valley Boy, Valley Girl accents, but the idea is to take them, see what they're actually made of, and dial them back. And now, the emphasis when trying to make a point in, let's see, Standard American, Middle American, it would be done. So instead of, but I couldn't even talk to you. What I'm finding with the people that I've been listening to on YouTube, it becomes much more of a breathy slope down. So instead of, but I couldn't even talk to you, it comes closer to, but I couldn't even talk to you. Again, don't want to exaggerate too much. I think a lot of this is just in the delivery and the intonation. So now we're going to try and apply this to lyrics to a song, and that's one of my favorite practice techniques. Take the changes that you notice in the accent and then start just reciting song lyrics that you know. In this case, it's going to be a song from a band from El Cerrito, California. Creedence Clearwater Revival wrote a song for everyone. Met myself coming, county welfare line. I was feeling strung out, hung out on the line. Saw myself going down to war in June. All I want is to write myself a tune. Got myself arrested, wound up in jail. Richmond about to blow up, communication failed. If you see the answer, now's the time to say, all I want is to get you down to pray. Saw the people standing 1,000 years in chains. Someone said, it's different now. Look, it's just the same. Pharaohs spin the message round and round the truth. They could have saved 1 million people. How can I tell you? I wrote a song for everyone. I wrote a song for truth. Wrote a song for everyone. But I couldn't even talk to you. The lyrics for Wrote a Song for Everyone are by John Fogerty. The music was provided by the very generous and versatile Kevin MacLeod. Up next is going to be accent number 25. We're going to try Jamaican with Arcade Fire's Wake Up. In the meantime, have some fun. Comment below. You never know. Ask for a song. Ask for an accent. I may end up doing them in some combination or other because I've got quite a few of these to go. Also, comment on the accent I just did. How close did I get? What's your take? And everybody, rock on.